Price prediction on these altcoins. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil, keeping technical analysis short and sweet as always. We are starting with Bitcoin. If you saw my other video already, you kind of have a general idea of what I think Bitcoin may be doing here if it breaks this black upward trend line. However, if it does tend to hold support, we can expect a further continuation for the bullish market. And we could see it potentially heading up towards around that 100,000 before getting a little resistance, or even potentially 103 and then testing the 100K as support. That's kind of what we're looking for. RSI looks great. Volume decreasing, price increasing. That is known as divergence. Let's move into other cryptos. My iPad is already lagging out. It's got like 7 gigabytes. For those of you who are new, like, subscribe. I need like 70 more of you guys to see new analytics. For those of you who have been around here for a while, always appreciated. Donations, 50% go to save animals' lives. The other 50% will go to get me better equipment to show this stuff to you guys. So XRP, we've talked about it many times before. Dollar cost average, constantly stack it. It's pretty much bottoming out in my opinion. I don't think we're going to see a lower point. If Bitcoin pulls back, the most you might see is within this channel that we have listed here. So just around 1.92 is a possibility if it does drop, but I imagine a pretty quick retracement and consolidation to get it up and over that 200 EMA and breaking out of this downward channel. We've tested it a couple times on the top of the trend line, but ideally, even if we pull back, we could expect it to push right back up towards this yellow line around 231, maybe get a little resistance because we have this upward trend line and the 200 EMA and this support/resistance line here. So I think we may get a little resistance in that area, but then eventually consolidate and push up over it. And XRP will be stakeable in the near future just on like banks accounts and stuff like that. And you can earn passive income from something that you bought at $2 and within the next couple of years is going to be well over $15 to $25. I can't say guaranteed because that kind of defeats the purpose of the get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is dollar cost average consolidation. Build up your bag before this takes off, because if you don't, you're going to end up buying it for $15 to $25 when you could have stacked a lot more at this price range right around $2. So I'm going to bring in Link as a new one. It is trying to bottom out a little bit. It's still underneath that 200 EMA, which doesn't look the best in my opinion. But we see that it could have a double bottom, just like I talked about in the XCN video. Double bottom, we could see a reversal and a push back up. So Chainlink, we have the upward trend line set. The RSI looks healthy. We're holding above the yellow, and that gives us the opportunity to push up towards the 200 EMA, which when we're looking at that in a percentage range, if it'll let me pull it up. I can't do anything. With this iPad. I think it's just the update is a piece of me. So we start here at 14. The potential upward to the 200 EMA is around 22%, maybe 20% or less. But if we can get above that, we could expect a potential 40% move to the upside with obvious retracement back down to the 200 EMA, cutting that profit in half before ultimately we need to get up to around 100% increase in price, which would be around $28 for Chainlink. If it can get over that, it would be breaking not only over the 200 EMA and being overbought in the RSI, but it would also be breaking a downward trend line, just from what I can see right here. So this is what I would be looking at for a first thing that needs to be broken for us to have a validation of a real movement to the upside. So with that 91%, if it were to hold there and stabilize within that downward trend line, you could expect a continuation for Chainlink which is partnering with a bunch of people, banks and stuff like that. Moving on, H bar. H bar similar to XRP, similar to XLM. If you're looking at XCN, take a look at XLM to kind of get a justification of what might be happening. H bar is one that is going to be lagging, in my opinion. I think we may see this one drop even lower before we get a little bit of stability around that 11-cent mark. But still working within the channel, still consolidating, healthy for the bigger move up. But, you know, I'm kind of holding off on purchasing some H-bar until it breaks out of that channel. That's when you really want to look at it. Same with XLM. I need a bigger bag of XLM. I know that for a fact, as most of it's in XRP, because that's going to be the king. It's going to be the Bitcoin of these other coins. In my opinion, it's going to move, and everything else is going to move along with it, even though they are cheaper. And the iPad is just garbage. It's absolute garbage. Who knows if this video will even record the full amount of time that I'm asking it to record. Well, I have no idea. You might want to scrub through this part of the video because I don't know what is going on. Can't do anything on this thing anymore. Well, I guess XCN pulls up. Well, Tornado Cash, I constantly recommend it. It's still looking very healthy, even though it did have a pullback, getting some rejection on a downward trend line. But even though XCN is pulled up, I promised, was it Jamie? I think it was Jackie, that I would do Swift. So if I can pull Swift up, I will cover Swift. As for XYO, I mean, it did do its pullback. It is looking a little bit healthier, but waiting on an entry. Even though it had that major pump the other day, it's no reason to just enter into the market. It needs to break the downward trend line. So let's see what we got from Swift. This is a pancake swap thing. If you guys don't know what pancake swap is, it's kind of like, what is it? The unicorn one? Uni? Which, yeah, this isn't very informatic. Let's see if we can get like Swift something. Bear with me. Let's just see what Swift is. Is it called Swift? I'm unsure. I feel like I'm wasting your time and my time. So yeah, I don't know what Swift's coin is if it's not Swift itself. And it's not pancake swap. So I can't help you on that unless I know what it is, because this is something different. This isn't giving the information that I want to see. So that's kind of it for this video. If you want to see the chart, I'll try and pull up XYO. But XYO did do its pullback. It's underneath the downward trend line. It's trying to build support. The CM Guppy is causing a little bit of pressure to push this upwards. But I think we're going to have some resistance at 0.007 still. So up to you if you want to enter or not. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. The RSI looks healthy. It can get some support off that yellow trend line coming upwards. Más o menos, it's in between. I'm sitting on the sidelines until this is crossed and held as support, because even if this gets crossed, it can pull back and test a lower point, as the absolute low where we want it to go to, if it does, is roughly 0.005. So waiting on the side for XYO to cross this downward trend line. I do have a bag of it, but until stacking a bigger bag, I want to see that cross and then start that bullish momentum along with the rest of the market. So that's kind of it for this video. It was pretty brutal with the lag and everything. We'll see if it even records everything, and I hope it's beneficial. I'm sorry about the Swift thing. I'll have to research it a little better and then give you a better information on that. So good luck. Have fun with it. Like, subscribe, donate, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys on the next one.